So in this segment, we're going to be discussing this quite interesting interview here from LBC, where they discuss the case against taking kind of refugees from Gaza on a more permanent basis, anyways.
All I'm saying is that there is a real danger here if we simply say, yes, all right, as Ukrainians have been coming to Britain, so the people from Gaza can come, and we're happy if they stay. I think politically that will set up tensions in the Middle East, which we don't want to do. I know it seems feeble, because the easiest way is to say, let's replicate the Ukrainian scheme. In some respects we might, but if we open the door too widely, then what we're simply saying to people from Gaza is, you can leave Gaza and come here, and there'll be fewer Palestinians left. And the Palestinians politically
does that
don't
not
want
apply?
that to happen.
I mean,
I think that's one of the key reasons why other countries in the region, one of the key reasons don't want to take refugees from Palestine, or from Gaza specifically, because that's what Israel wants. They want more people to leave Gaza so they can justify taking more land. It's much easier for them to justify taking empty territory in that respect, which is what they're doing anyways. They're expanding into Gaza. They're looking to expand into Lebanon and also the West Bank as well. So we're seeing it before our very eyes here. And so I think his point there is quite interesting. I just because Israel have stopped right to return for many Palestinians, and they've taken their land effectively. But I do wonder, given the fact that we know Israel are going to do this, is it worth taking people from Gaza just because if we don't, they'll be killed potentially? Chances are they will die.
I appreciate the situations are different, and of course you're right, there are sensitivities around Gaza and the Middle East that there weren't in Ukraine. But you could make the same argument, couldn't you, that if we just let all the Ukrainians come here, then that is effectively sort of handing Putin more control of Ukraine?
Well, we're talking about many more Ukrainians than there are people in Gaza, and we're also. I mean, Putin isn't saying the Ukrainians should disappear; he just wants to conquer them. So I don't think there's quite the parallel. All I'm saying is it's a sensitive issue.
Yeah.
When I first raised it some time ago, I was attacked very much by people who said, I'm just trying to help in the ethnic cleansing of
Right.
Gaza.
Right.
And so I'm being cautious and saying we have to be very careful. And I repeat what I said earlier, that people should come to this country for medical help as a temporary measure. We can give them medical help, and then they ought to have the right of returning to Gaza. And if there's family reunion, that of course will be a longer term thing. But
the right to return is the key here, and there's something Israel have blocked consistently because they don't want demographics within Israel to change.
There wouldn't be many of those in Gaza, although there are some, and that's an important human rights issue. All I'm saying,
the right to return is enshrined, I think, within the UN as well. And I can see his argument, taking people on a temporary basis. But what if Israel refuses their right to return anyways? What do you do at that point? I don't know. There's no good answers beyond stopping Israel, but it seems like no country really has the will. Well, I say that actually, no. The US doesn't have the will to do it. There's many countries that have talked about arms embargoes and sanctions and things like that, and those are countries I respect greatly. But for the most part, the one major country that we really needed to be on side here is not on side and is in the opposite end, really, still arming Israel. So it's a very depressing situation. I think Lord Dubs makes a really good point. I just wonder whether it's too late for that. It's too late to not offer people or to go for the strategy purely because those people will be killed. The ones that maybe if we offer them temporary status or even permanent status just to try and get people out as quickly as possible, just because there's no life for them there anymore. Gaza effectively is a dead zone. That's what it's been turned into, a place where people will either die quickly via bombs and bullets or slowly via starvation and illness. I think the situations between Ukraine and Russia and Gaza and Israel are very, very different. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Sorry, it's quite a depressing subject. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.